Well, the old Ford F-250 broke down on me. This is a 2000. I've been having some starting problems. It's the batteries. The batteries are really old on this thing, past due. And the reason I've been hanging on to them is because my lugs on all of my battery cables are pretty worn out. So today I'm going to be replacing them all and getting some new batteries. We'll take a look real quick. I'll show you how bad these are. Super corroded, worn out. That one's actually broken, all stretched out from being over tightened all the time. Same thing with this one. I ran the charger on the battery for a while to see if I could charge it back up. Put this tester on it. We got a bad cell. I have the tester on the other battery. It's only at 9.4 volts. I ordered some new battery cables for my truck. I got them today. These are factory. Once again, you can see how bad the ones are that I have right now. Pretty crappy. Here's a little close-up, probably as bad as it could possibly be. This one I probably can't even get off because it's stuck on there. They were so stretched out that we had to take a flathead screwdriver and kind of butthole it out to make it stay on there really tight. Well, with a little persuasion, we got both the batteries off. Pretty bad. You should never let it get this bad. It got this bad because those lugs were so bad that there was no way I was going to be able to get them off without completely wrecking them this time. Waited way too long to get new batteries. Next step's going to be to remove the cables from the start relay. Down underneath where it goes to the starter. I'm going to have to undo all of these bolts so I can unclip the cable that runs across the front. I have the bracket off that holds the radiator and everything in place. I have to peel this back and pop out the little clips that hold the cable all the way along. I have that part of the cable out now. I'm going to start working on all of this now. You're looking at the cable where it comes down from the battery. There's a bracket that I got to take off. The cable then runs over to the starter. So I have to undo those as well. And I should be able to pull it right out. That's what the bracket looks like sitting underneath. It's bolted on. There's another cable going there. That's the cable that's going up to the battery. And then this is the other end that goes to the starter. So I'll have to undo those two bolts, undo that bolt, remove the other cable. That'll drop down. I should be able to pull the whole assembly out and then put the new one in. There's a little clip there where there's two lines that sit and are held up. I'm back underneath. You can see the bracket. The bracket goes right up here. There's one nut holding it on. Take that nut off. The bracket will come right off. And then I'll have to go back there to the starter and take off the two cables, and then I should be able to pull out this whole cable assembly. And you can see where it goes up to the battery up there. So I'll probably have to pull everything down or up to get it up. I'm back here at the starter now. There's 2 nuts I'll have to take off to undo the 2 cables, and then I should be able to pull it all the way out. I got the cables off of the starter. It would have been easier just to take the whole starter off than it was to get this smaller one off. Ended up breaking off the connector, but it doesn't matter because I'm replacing the whole cable anyways. And after I did that, I was able to get it off okay. Little tiny nut on there. Now I'm going to try to pull this whole cable down out of the engine from up above. Well, we're about halfway there. We have the old one next to the new one. I have the new one fed up from underneath. I went ahead and pulled the one over to where it needs to go. I have the other side going across. Now I just have to connect all the clips and put those 2 bolts back on. Then I'll go underneath and I'll go ahead and attach the bracket and attach it back to the starter. I have the cables reconnected to the start relay. They're all in place. The clip. All the way across. Now I'm going to start working on the grounds. I'm going to work on the ground now. You can see the old one next to the new one. I fed it down right next to it so I wouldn't get everything twisted. The large one connects to the bolt that the bracket for the positive connected to, that ran to the starter. And then there's a small one that runs off of it that connects to the frame of the truck. The other small one runs off the top and connects to the inside fender. Underneath you can see the old ground that connects to that bolt that the bracket connected to that had the positive cable that went to the starter, and then you can see the new one. So I'm going to take that off, and then there's a small one that runs up and connects to the frame, small bolt up here. I'll show you here on the old one. This is the bolt that connects the cable to the frame. I had to take a drill bit and egg it out a little bit to make it fit, because the factory new one was a little bit too tight. Bracket is back on. The 2 lines are in the clip. I have the small cable bolted back to the frame. Now I just have to go back there and work on the starter. I'm back here at the starter going to put the 2 new cables on. I had to take off the ground off the starter to be able to access the stud for the small one. I went ahead and I pulled out the old ground. I got the new ground in. Came out just like the other side. I got 2 new batteries in here. And the truck runs great now. Starts right up. Nice, clean, brand new terminal and lugs.